So a very warm welcome, and I'm introducing you the tarot decks which we are using in your session. This is the Wainwright, the usual tarot which we use. Then we have fresh oracle decks, the energy oracle deck. Then we have moonology oracle based on the lunar cycles, because we do lunar astrology, we do Vedic astrology, we study the waning, waxing of the moon. And this is Keepers of the Light oracle deck. And last but not the least, we're using Oracle Fairy deck, right?
Yeah.
So now these are the cards which we've pulled out from your energy. This is pertaining to your romance, your marriage, and your relationship. I have most interestingly, the cards that I pulled out are all pertaining to your romance and marriage, because this is not in my jurisdiction. What the spirit guides call out to me to pick out, that's not in my jurisdiction. I have no control on that. If it's going to pick up money cards, career cards, it's really not in my hands. But it's picked up all love, romance.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see that. So the first card which is coming up is Work Through Your Fears. And this is New Moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears, it says. Think your situation to be like a phoenix. Okay? Because that's rising from ashes. At the birth, death, and rebirth paradigm. This is what the Scorpio energy is all about. Right? Because this is new moon in Scorpio. So whatever you've been through, there's now a new start ahead. And it's certainly dark, but it's deep, it's transformative. Because that's what the Scorpio energy speaks about. And you should also know that it's magical. And it's time to show your magic. And it's been a herald of a more time which is more intimate, like which is more sexier in nature, because that's what the Scorpio energy speaks about. You've been experiencing a drought from quite some while. It could be maybe up to a year or maybe more than a year, but this is new emotional intimacy which is on the menu for you. Right?
Okay.
So that's good news, happy news. Drought time is over. So the Scorpio energy, what does it do? It goes deep into the mind, body, and soul. And it's going to make you attuned to the moon's energy. So what we suggest you is that you connect to the moon's energy. And every night, Lord Moon, Lord Chandra is there out in the sky. Even in London, you have moon. In India, we have moon here. So that's common. All you have to do is to go on the terrace or on your balcony, and you have to look at Lord Moon, and you just have to connect with its energy. And you have to meditate and pray in whatever language you're comfortable in. You just pray, okay? And this new moon in Scorpio is telling you what? It's telling you move away from jealousies. Harbor no jealousies against anyone, right? And also tune to let go all the grudges. Now you're holding a lot of past life. Past life means in your past karmic lives, and even in your past, whoever people cheated you or let you down or betrayed you, you're carrying it very close to your chest. What you have to do is you have to let go. That's what the new moon in Scorpio wants to tell you. And it could be that you're a paranoid. It's sending this message to you. And also make an investment. Now the investment could be commercial, it could be material with your finances, buying some property, or maybe investing in a relationship. This investment. So investing your resources in the matters of the material realm, or the spiritual realm, or the emotional realm. Because this is, Scorpio is a very emotional sign. We're talking about the water energies. So in tarot, all the water energies are dedicated to the water signs. So this is very emotional in nature. So you can make an investment. So you can calculate it to be an emotional investment, right? And please meditate on this card while I'm speaking. So Scorpio, what happens is this is a deep transformative energy. It speaks about births, rebirths, and it speaks about the magic. It speaks about the shamans. And it also is the energy which is the dark occult energy. The occult sciences, like you've contacted me, I am the occultist. So traversing in dark spaces and also facing your shadow side is what it's saying. You have to do a lot of shadow work and you have to address your shadow side. Only after you're going to address your shadow side and your dark side, the light side will come around. So this is the message of new moon in Scorpio. I hope you resonated with this in a very big way. And then on the line, we have the new moon in Virgo. And this energy is saying a time to give rather than take. Isn't it beautiful? See, on a closer spectrum. And please concentrate with the energy which you see on the screen as of now and meditate on it. And the new moon energy suggests restarting. Now, this is a start or this is a restart. What do we mean by a restart? We mean that maybe now further on in your reading, you'll understand why am I saying restart and why am I saying start? Because there is the energy of somebody from the past also coming in. So that's why there's this restart and there is this start, right? We'll understand this further. So the restart is clever. The restart is organized. And the restart is simple. It's just as easy as it sounds. And also, you've been unwell in the past. In the past few days or maybe few months, you're experiencing a very unrest and an unwell phase. So now, since the new moon has shown up in Virgo for you, your health will start improving, right? And also, it suggests you that you have to start eating healthy, and it also suggests that go through some healing techniques. Like what you're doing here is that you're healing, isn't it? You're finding answers to your questions, you're trying to be meditative, you're trying to know what is the best for you. So this card in the new moon in Virgo is suggesting you alternative healing techniques, right, than the usual ones. Like we subscribe to the allopathic ones. So this is asking you to do the alternate healing, okay? And which is that you heal yourself. You're connecting with the energy through the Scorpio, which is deep, meditative, transformative energy. And you're going through the occult sciences way. This is the dark magic way. And then through the techniques of alternate healing, you are finding a technique to completely get out of the past, which grapples upon your energies, right? And your energies are feeling blocked for sure. So this is suggesting that at this moment, over-analyzing things is completely a big no. So being critical about things shouldn't be the case. Okay, so you're being overcritical and also you're over-analyzing things in the light of the Virgo. So you have to recommit to healthy mornings and you have to reconnect with healthy evenings, which means that you have to start your day with meditation and maybe you have to end it with a workout, or you do it the other way around. But the mornings and the evenings have to be very invigorating, they have to be healthy, they have to be fresh. And you say at evening, how can I be fresh? You can be very fresh. Because if you're connecting with things that give you joy and give you a new lease of life, I'm sure there'll be joyous moments for you, right? And you also pay attention to the detailing. And if you wish success in what you want. So whatever is the question up on your mind, you really have to set a lot of detailing without being overcritical and without being analytical. Just set the detailing. on your mind, right? And the person, whoever you're asking for, is very reliable. New moon in Virgo, that's what it's suggesting. So the Virgo's about health, it's about service, it's about analyzing. And this energy, to be precise, has a wonderful feel of harvest to it. Because whenever we see the beautiful Virgo, she's a beautiful virgin and she stands on the edge of a boat. And in one hand, she's got a block of wheat, and in one hand, she has medicines. Now, these medicines for you are alternate medicines, or this could be medicinal food, like through the naturopathy, like through your kitchen, you find your health, right? Which if you're, what should I say, gobbling up a lot of fast food, this suggests that you've got to connect with your kitchen and you've got to make yourself some healthy snacks, and you have to connect that way. And the block of wheat suggests that through the food again, isn't it? Your medicine comes from the food. And also, it's a wonderful bounty which is coming your way in the new moon in Scorpio. And it's also time to put your life in order. So that's the new moon in Virgo for you. And then we have, through your energy pulled, a very, very beautiful card, another one beautiful card, which is the new moon in Libra, girl. You can meditate on the card here. And it's a new romantic cycle, which is beginning, happy, joy. Because this energy is suggesting that give and take is the answer. Like you give and you take. Now in further tarot readings, this will be more defined and more etched for you. So to whatever dilemma you're asking for, the answer is compromise. The answer is that you've got to compromise. It's not my way or highway, girl. It's going to be a compromise for sure. Yeah. So it's time for negotiations. It's time for new relationships, and it's time for new beginnings in the new in Libra. And also renegotiations. Like now, this is so interesting. There was revisiting and there was reconnecting, and over here it speaks about renegotiations. Of course, the fresh negotiations are there, and also chances that your relationship will be very healthy, it'll be very well, it's going to put you in your well-being, and it's going to be very lovely. So that's really happy news. And in the new moon in Libra, what you have to do is you have to do everything in pairs. Like if you buy something, buy it twice. And this is the beautiful art of manifestation, which the book Secrets also suggests, that everything you do it in pairs. Now, if you want to attract your partner and you're sleeping, say, keep the place aside you, absolutely welcoming your partner to be resting beside you. And you're making tea, put 1 cup for him as well. So include him in your life, because we want you to manifest your partner in your life. This is completely magically beautiful, which is coming in the new moon in Libra. Everything in twirl. You do shopping for yourself, because that's also further coming in your cards. Buy something for the partner. Like you're ordering crystal jewelry for yourself. Order a bracelet for love connection to the man, whoever you're interested in, and you gift him. So the twi rule, because Libra is about scales, it's about 2 people. Libra is the sign which is ruled by beautiful Venus. And like we understand that Venus is about relationships and Venus is about the love connectivity. So we need the pair. We can't do it alone. So everything you're going to do in pair, right? And also somebody now should be open to taking you through in the love ways, in the love life. And you got to avoid being selfish and avoid being self-centered, because now you have to manifest a twi energy. So everything you do it in a generous way, you do it in a sharing way, because sharing is caring. So even if you do lots of shopping for yourself, go for it, girl, but little bit you must do for the love interest or the people you love, okay? Or who are maybe around you in a way that they love you, might not be in the romantic way, but whoever show their love and concern for you, you got to do little things for them, right? So the mantra is pay, right? And also over here, if you connect with the energy of the new moon in Libra, you feel more, think less. Feel more, think less. And also, this is the card of marriage. This is the card of engagements. That's really good news. And also pay a lot of attention to your appearance. This is all, many cards of yours are suggesting that. I'm going to comment it. So this says that you got to pay lots and lots of attention to your appearance, right? And also Libra is about love, it's about harmony, it's about negotiations, marriage, relationships, right? It's also about luxury, and it aims for balance and justice. So the relationship has to be balanced, and it has to be a relationship which is filled with justice, which means that no partner is overbearing or overpowerful, and both are equal. This is what, and there is a maintained equilibrium. So Libra energy is going to bring back equilibrium in your life, right? So these are the 3 cards from the Monology, which we discussed with you. And now we're going to do from the other tarot deck, the Fairies of the Oracle, and we'll start with Wisdom. Now, if you meditate on the card Wisdom, this fairy, there's a beautiful fairy, and there's a wise owl also in the background. This is time to call upon your own wisdom, your own inner wisdom, right? And at this challenging time, or perhaps at this point of time, someone who you know could also have insight of your situation. If you're not finding this inner wisdom within you, maybe you're connecting with somebody in the way who's guiding you in your relationship, and who's like a wise owl, you know, like the guru, the preacher, the Astro. I'm the wise owl here. So this is
I think so. I think you are the wise owl guiding me.
So now this wise fairy is flanked by the owl, and the owl we know is always the symbology of wisdom. So, and it's also telling you that you have innate amount of wisdom within you, which you also have to rediscover, and you have to connect with your inner wisdom. You know what is wise for you, you know where to draw the line, you know how much to do, how much not to do. So this is the wise calling. And also the fairy says that trust your own wisdom. And knowing that wisdom is not age related. It's got nothing to do with somebody's age. It's only got to do with the person who can see the bigger picture. Instead of having that myopic view, if anybody can see the bird's eye view, and who can connect on a larger spectrum, and who can tell you what is the thing which is more than what the little eye vision can see, right? So that's the fairy energy calling out to you and saying to you. And so like the wise owl, it's telling you that quietly look around, right? And try to assess whatever is going out there in your life. Maybe whoever you're keeping in mind while we ask this reading, you just notice whatever is happening around, like the wise owl. No reaction, no speaking, but just gain wisdom on the situation around, right?
That's what I'm doing these days.
Wonderful. So you're the wise owl, and I'm the wise owl too. We're both are wise owls. So, and also, not that always you could be right. No. In the energy of the wisdom, it's only that you could have the ability to see a situation in a very impartial way. And also many others could not see the situation that way. So always you might not be right, but you have that capacity, which others don't have, of assessing a situation in an impartial way, right? And also, the highest good for you is definitely known by you. So you know at this point of time, and also your wise owl knows that what's the best for you, right? And also there's healing required in both the parties. It's come. There are two parties involved here, or there could be slightly more than two parties involved. So both the parties in the wisdom need healing, definitely. And you for sure have not healed from your past bruises, wounds, dejections, disappointments. You're still grieving. So the wisdom card is asking you for healing. And don't tell others what they must do. This is a thing which you really have to understand from the wisdom card, that you really don't have to tell people what they have to do. You have to more and go inwards, and you have to exercise this wisdom of patience, and you really have to be patient, and you quietly have to assess things around, and the right time is already on the brink, right? So this is the wisdom card for you. And then next in line we have the inner child. Now if you would meditate on the fairy and the playing beautiful fairies together, they are playing. So like George Bernard Shaw said, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We don't stop growing because we grow old, but we grow old because we stop playing. So this wants to tell you that, girl, you have to cheer up. You have to play. Now the play could be at the gymnasium. You got to hit the gym. You got to go jogging, and you have to be dancing. And you see the fairy. It's telling you that it's playtime. You've disconnected from your playtime. You've disconnected from your inner child, and this is suggesting that connect with your inner child and be as happy, playful as you were when you were a little girl. So it seeks to bring that little girl out in you, right? Now you're sad, pensive, dejected, and you're behaving more than your age. It wants you to drop that, and it wants you to collaborate with your lost girl child, right? And also it wants you to add joy, it wants you to add fun, and it wants you to do away with your mundane routine, because your life right now is very boring. It's stuck in household chores, a home, then to work, then from work back home. So somewhere it's asking you that you've badly got stuck in a rut, which means you've got stuck in these fixed patterns. What you have to do, you have to add joyous time, fun time, and you got to feel younger. You're feeling much, much more than your age. So you've got to be vigorous, you've got to be energized, and you also have to discover the joy in your life. And also you have to live life at work too. This is suggesting that at work, things are getting drab for you, things are getting dull, they are getting mundane. So you have to find a lot of joy and lots of excitement in your workplace. Imagine, this is coming. And ask the fairies. Now you have to meditate on the fairies, and you ask them for a renewal of vitality, and you ask them for the sprightiness to come back to your life, right? And you ask them to bring the sprite back in your steps. So you go and play right now is what the inner child is telling you to do, right? So now next in tow, we have the lost and found. If you read, we have the beautiful lost and found fairy. Now there's a very beautiful message which it wants to give out to you in your case here for the question which you're asking. What we once lost is about to be found, thanks to the lost and found fairy. And she helps us to find things we ever realized were lost. right? So things which you think are lost, she could help them to find it back for you. If you think you've lost romance, you've lost excitement, and you've lost revitality, joyousness in your life, and the spark in your life, if you meditate upon her, she's going to help you to get all that back in your life. And if you misplace something spiritually or materially, the fairy, the lost and found fairy, is a very helpful fairy. She will help you to get those things back. And those things will cure you and it will elevate you, right? And also it's the autumn season when the fairy comes. So the autumn is about to come in maybe 2-3 months from now. So what does it do is that it hides its food in the autumn season so that it can find it in the winter season, because there's no food in the winter season. So which means that now at this point of time, when she appears in your reading, you have to start collecting a lot of things, or rather you have to start making little investments for getting food in the future, which is that for love, relationship, or for romance, or for your finances, you start making those little moves now, and you start digging for that food, and you start doing that accumulation collection so that you can reap its results in the winter season. And usually we see that the winter season has got a lot of weddings, marriages, unions, so which means that you have to ingress the start for the new romance in life when the fairy shows up, right? And she also reminds you that it's okay to lose things, because she's the lost and found fairy. So if you lose the past wounds, and if you lose the dejections, the bitterness, and the pain which you carry, she suggests that please do that. Yeah. And also your purpose will be resolved, and whatever you ask for will be gifted and granted. But do not cry over spilled milk. Lot of time has gone that you cried over the spilled milk. Now you have to take out a cloth, you have to sap up all the milk, and you have to clean the floor of all the spilled milk. And she says you have to go and buy new milk. And if you're a vegan, go and buy vegan milk. And she wants you to drink that milk. You get the message? It's very beautiful. So new connections, new romance, and new association. And the past, what is spilled, what is gone, you really must sever it out of your life. You must do over with it. Too many cards are suggesting this, girl. So now there is this beautiful card which has come. Shine, and shine from within.
Yeah.
This is for you. If you meditate, see, she's filled with magic. She's a fairy of glamour, my dear. And she uses magic to make things different from what they really are. Which means she could be about masking. Like you masking yourself, you're very fearful to show the world what you originally are made up of. So at this point of time, it wants you to do a lot of self-love. It wants you to connect with your own self, and it wants you to have self-pride. Now, self-pride is different than having vanity, but it wants you to have a lot of self-pride. It wants to have you to connect with your own loving self, and it wants you to love yourself. And she's the fairy, which is the magical fairy, and she's often seen in the fairy tales, like the Cinderella and the, Cinderella and the Snow White.
Yeah.
So now the Cinderella, she uses magic, but she uses magic to get her love. She uses magic to get her prince. And then the stepmother, she uses the same magic, but she uses in a negative way to harm her stepdaughter. So which means that the magic can be twice-used. It's like a dual-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
So you got to use it carefully. You're blessed with the magic, and you got to use it judiciously, right? And you have to be discerning with the use of the magic. And also, the fairy glamour often involves you using cosmetics, jewelry, new outfits. It wants to say that your appearance needs to be more youthful, more vibrance needs to be there, and it wants to tell you is the fairy of cosmetics and outfits and jewelry. Now you're missing all this in your life, because if you weren't missing it, she will not come in your reading.
Okay.
So this is strongly suggested that you have to be nice. The makeup companies have to earn with girls like you. How are they going to earn? So you got to buy yourself some time to adorn and to love yourself. And you have to wear some nice jewelry. And you also got to wear some good outfits. That's what the message is coming. For your romance, for your marriage, for the love to shine through, right? And in the spiritual terms, the face that you're showing to the world is not your true face. It's masked, it's hiding, because it's hurt, it's wounded, and it's not confident. So now it's trying to tell you that let's do the healing, and let's start in the physical sense. Let's start from the makeup, let's start from the jewelry, let's do the fine clothing, and then we'll reach to the spiritual elevated stages too. Right? So now she's telling you the ways of self-acceptance is not in selfish ways. Again, this is a card which is suggesting that you have to be a little bit more generous and a little bit more of a sharing and a giver, right? And also, once you accept yourself, because the self-acceptance is not there, and once you're going to accept your own self, you will definitely have acceptance from the people around you, because they are responding to your energy. And the day when you start accepting and loving yourself, that very day you will start the love of the life will start responding in a very, very loving way with you. So reflection on what you wear is suggested here, and also what you wear has to be very glamorous. The fairy is suggesting you, and you're ignoring clothes, makeup, jewelry, and that's something you're not supposed to do. Okay? And you're very overwhelmed with the house and the job routines, but it's telling you to go within. And when you have this beautiful self-love, then outwardly also you'll start spending more time on your appearance, right? So that's the cards for you. And we've ended the oracle cards, and there's more also which is coming.
Can I just quickly get water if you...
Yeah, you want to take a break? Sure.
Just a 15-second pause. Yeah, just a 15-second one. Because
I can carry on and hours and sure.
I'll just come in 15 seconds.
Yeah, sure.